Welcome, everyone, to Dire Bear Venturing Company. It's Monday night, so that means we're back to the Escorts. And we have with us, as always, our crew. That is Maddie, who is on our production team. Eric, who's sitting over there looking awesome in his shirt. Molly with the fresh hair. We have Sarah with the kitty cat parrot. We have V, who is enjoying the spices of life, a.k.a. Cosmic Brownie. And Steve, who's looking fresh as I am with the beard. All right, so dive right in. Let's go ahead and give credit where credit is due. That music was brought to you by Derek Weems. Make sure we put a link up some point in time, but go check him out. That is actually the first half of the full thing. We have the full thing set up, and we'll have more to come with the title card and everything else like that. So enjoy the music in the meantime. I think it's a fantastic job that he's done. So go hire him out to do all of your music needs, Derek Weems. And we'll make sure to get the love spread for him. A huge shout out to D&D Beyond for allowing us to use their product. It's fantastic. Ghost of the Salt Marsh dropped back in April, I think, or May. But the newest one is up on the store, and that is Descent into Avernus, the newest module from Wizards of the Coast. It starts in Baldur's Gate, takes you to the first level of the Nine Hells and back again, with all sorts of intrigue in between there as the Flaming Fist, the embattled and beleaguered group that protects the city, is fighting against the cultist of the Dead Three, Bane, Ball, and Merkel. So go ahead and grab that. It's on D&D Beyond, or you can get a physical copy like I have with the alternate cover, which has a really cool, the symbol of Ball, which we would all seen from Baldur's Gate #1, where it's a skull with the flames around it. And on the back of it is the Archduke Zerial, and looking like really cool with red and silver and black. So go ahead and grab that. It's a fantastic piece and a great addition to your D&D modules. And you can get it again, like I said, on D&D Beyond, dndbeyond.com. So also a huge shout out to Nerdsmith. They are running their special event all this month. It is a homage or one-shot adventures that take place in Descent into Avernus to celebrate the release of the book. So they are actually running one later tonight. As a matter of fact, about the time this ends, their show will begin. So stay tuned. After our show, we'll be over there rating those folks and giving them some love. Don't forget, tell all your friends that we're live right now. The notifications, make sure you leave the notification on so that when we do go live, you get a notification. We would love your support. If you want to, you can gift a sub. If you have Twitch Prime, you can always sub with us. And also bits, we appreciate anybody who joins our Patreon. We'll be having content go up there soon, as we have the first part, which would be Zastari's backstory, going up soon, and then we'll have more lore about Edgermon, as well as some other things from yours truly as I get my home studio set back up. As you can see from the poster behind me tonight, I am back at Lucky Dice Cafe this evening, not in my own studio, which is okay. We love Lucky Dice Cafe. If you're in the Huntsville area and you're looking for some fun to join in on, Thursday nights I'm running a long-form campaign. I just started Ghost of the Salt Marsh. Friday night we do our one-shots, and I'm trying to keep it in on the spooky level. So this coming Friday we'll be running Call of Cthulhu, because who doesn't love Call of Cthulhu? Let's see. We have that coming up on Friday, and then on Sundays we're doing Adventure League, where I actually got to play. It was fun. I made RoboCop. Anyways, we are episode 10 of the Escorts, and just to dive right in and refresh everyone, you're on a boat, and you were attacked by... The name always escapes me, so we're going to get consistency here. Sahagin?
Sahagin.
Sounds great. You were attacked by fish folk. The sworn mortal enemy of the Triton, the Sea Elves, Sahagin. They captured one, killing the rest of them. He summoned some sharks. They fought sharks. Now they're eating shark, and they killed him using some primal savagery and some other mechanics. And as they're laid out on the boat, expressing some concerns about being in the water, Zastari, who is sufficiently waterlogged, but safe on the deck of the boat.
For now.
They all leveled up to 3, and that is going on. We were experiencing some issues earlier, so let me go ahead and find out. Does everybody have their character sheet up now? Everybody good?
Yes.
Awesome.
Unless that's changed. Yeah, mine's good.
Good news. All right. So without further ado, last we left off, You guys were laying out on the boat, drying out, eating some food. A present was presented. A gift, a token, if you will, was presented. And a shark has been ingested by most of you, or some of you, maybe not all of you. But the boat is still on the way. The sun is still kind of higher in the sky, but it's past noon. And that would mean that Ezra has the helm, if I'm not mistaken, during the daytime.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I think that's right.
Tongaro is better at sailing at night than I would
Right.
be, so.
We're going to go ahead and get a survival check to start with.
Oh.
Actually, we're doing the piloting checks.
Which
from
is
Ezra?
From Ezra.
That's proficiency and
We were going to use.
Muscle.
We were using intelligence, if I'm not mistaken.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Yes, thank you.
oh, good. That works.
Wisdom. Yeah, because you're a
18.
monk.
20,
Where's-
Two.
break out my dice. Back.
24.
24. No problems navigating the seas for the rest of the day.
You don't just know what fish are. You know how to move through them.
Moving through the fish creates a tactile issue, I think. Here's an ASMR for you.
Is it just Bart Simpson going, knife goes in, guts come out. Knife goes in, guts come out.
As I'm digging around in my dice bag for my toasted marshmallow. Those of you at home know my toasted marshmallow is being one of my deadlier dice.
Uh-huh.
Toasted marshmallow goes there.
It's
All right.
that or the giant metallic, like, bludgeoning tools you have.
Those are way over there, so they're going to stay
Yeah,
over there
thanks.
now.
Thanks for that.
They're like that big around. All right,
Kill
so-
somebody with those things.
Yes.
You have, actually.
Did I kill somebody? Yeah, I did kill
An
somebody.
orc
with those.
fighter, actually. You did. You had a troll step on him. I remember that. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. The latter half of the day goes by. The only concern that you really have is some growing clouds in the distance. You're going north, so off your starboard side. Port starboard. Off your starboard side, you can see clouds. Actually, from the camera, it looked different. But anyways, you can see clouds gathering. It looks as though a storm may press in, but you're not sure how far off it is. You haven't seen any lightning. The wind hasn't changed direction. But it's still something you might want to raise concern about. What are you
Perfect.
doing?
I'll mention it, but I feel like the real person I would mention it to would be Tonga whenever he gets up.
I'm probably up. Well, I don't think he would be very upset if you woke him up for this reason. Just saying.
Just leering over, slightly nudging. There's a storm coming. Yeah, no,
Storms are coming.
storms are coming.
Honey,
feeling
you
the
got a
need.
big storm a coming.
Storms are
parlay is
coming.
Storms are coming.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, clouds in the distance. I'll
Is
wake
it
up the real
close?
ship
Has
captain.
the current shifted? How does the wind feel? Is the air cold?
Give me a survival check there, Tongaroa.
Okay, I was like,
Why didn't I take survival? Don't need it. 20.
Alrighty then.
You say this
Um,
now.
It is not. It is not shifted yet. So far it
So
seems to
we're
be
not close.
not
We
real
can
close.
see it.
You can see it in the distance, but it's not close.
Is it conveniently in the direction that we're going?
No, it is running along almost parallel to you
Okay.
so far.
All right. So,
Your halfling friend is tucked down in the compartment looking around.
She's in the glove box.
Well then, I think it would
it kind
be
of is.
Yeah.
wise if we tried to veer away from it while still relatively going in the direction that we need. So either the clouds are going to dissipate, or we're going to dodge it altogether. Hopefully.
Are they being quiet about talking the weather?
I hope so.
I assume it's just you tell me. Are you standing back there talking to one another quietly?
Yeah, you know what? I'll be quiet about it, not to not raise concern, because right now it's not a concern. It's just
Two big guys having a
I tell you what, I'll be
They put their
distracting
heads
Zora.
together talking.
Hey Zora, I'm just so sad that there's not that many songs about just being on a boat.
Oh no.
I already know where this is going.
She's looking vaguely concerned and wondering if maybe he may have hit his head on the side of the boat when he went over.
He's just continuing to make eye contact and nodding.
She's kind of like takes like a half step back, like, okay, I'm sure someone could write some, and I'm actually sure there's probably plenty of songs about boats. Isn't boating and sailoring kind of popular?
No, they're totally different. I mean, this is a boat. We are on a boat.
I feel like there's a line missing.
That's all you're getting for now.
Just kind of nods, like,
As he's over there looking
indeed
up.
on a boat.
I feel like he has a Yule song about giving a gift presented in a box. I'm not sure though. It seems like a very mellow song.
All right, well, I got to get a turtleneck and chain soon.
No.
It's my gift in a box.
Yes. Yes.
Why do I get the feeling this is going to be the first thing that Mello writes when we get to Jopus Landing?
He might already have a different song in mind, but sure.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Spoilers, none of Mello's songs can be sung in front of children.
Is that a spoiler? I mean, really?
Not
I just
really.
assumed that was the nature of it. Just
Pop-up video kind of thing, like...
Oh, guys, listen, I just made this one up. There once was a girl from Nantucket.
stop.
What's Nantucket?
Where is Nantucket?
Fuck it.
Who is Nantucket?
I've got one better. Why is Nantucket?
But how is Nantucket?
Ooh.
But how?
Nantucket is fucking beautiful. I've been there a couple times. Right in the little curl of Massachusetts.
Tonga from the back, just like, I got all the answers.
So beautiful.
Are you guys talking about Nantucket?
If we go east here...
What's that place on the wall you always like to go? The shit on the walls you always like to go to? You guys talking about shenanigans?
Hey, put that
All right. God. How far are we in? We're already off topic. Anyways, so the storm is far off in the distance, enough that it hasn't affected your traversal of the ocean.
Okay.
However, advice was given to adjust, maybe to kind of veer away from it.
Sail directly toward it.
Is she super paranoid
This
about
is why you're
Drop
not
masts
the
and
captain.
anchors.
Just
Drop
wait.
anchor and hug the deck.
I mean, as far as the story is concerned, I am the anchor.
Gonna be the anchor.
just because
I don't
she's
see how. He's full of so much hot air.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
I'm glad you did that. Thank you.
Go ahead and give me another navigational roll there, if you would, please, Ezra.
You know, Steve, I have to, right?
With
Oh,
advantage,
please
because I'm
do.
helping.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mello's just asking for it.
That first roll was a
Every
2.
mo-
That's another
Oh,
24.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's an 18 this time around.
All right. Well, keeping your eye on the storm, you adjust the traversal that you're going, the path that you're going on. The sun sets, but
Hey, Ezra. Why are we not going north anymore?
you are going northwest.
Dude,
But why are we not going north anymore?
we're still technically going north in a way.
Ish.
But north is that way.
North-ish.
North is that way, though.
I taught him too fucking well.
No, it's just I always know where north is, regardless of where I'm at.
West north.
And he has to point it out.
Yeah. Keen mind, I always know where north is.
I feel like that's a flaw that Eric has, not the character that just Eric has.
Maybe.
I have keen mind. I always know which way is north. We know Eric. We're all very proud of you. Anyways. All right. So eventually the sun does slip behind the mountains to the west. Stars start to appear, and I assume there is a trading of the guard.
It's my
now-
turn to take the boat.
Tangaroa takes the helm, and we will do the same thing. Please give me navigation.
What did you say that was? I wasn't listening.
Wisdom.
Oh no.
Proficiency in wisdom.
$12.
You don't lose your way.
Cool. That's good
At
news.
this point in time, is everybody else awake? I know Ezra's probably like trying to catch some Z's.
A little, yeah. I'm awake. I'm asleep. Sorry.
All right. I would like for everyone but Ezra to give me survival checks, please.
I have a decent survival too. Damn.
18.
Nat 20 for 23 total.
21.
21 and 23 and 18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
18?
20.
20. Nice. Nice rolls, everyone.
Yeah, that's
Great.
unexpected.
And the last of this round, so this session.
Everyone's gonna roll
Just
horrible.
Downhill from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
What have we done?
Next round, single digits.
Yikes.
All right. So let's see. We had 18s, 20s, 23s, 21, so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Perfect. That will work out well. Tangaroa. The first thing you notice is a shift in the wind.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Zora. The temperature is a lot cooler than what you remember it. Like,
Gee.
it's nighttime, so yeah, there's a temperature change, but it's like drastically fallen.
She's casting Druidcraft to see what the weather is for the next 24 hours at this location.
Your AccuWeather check doesn't cast out. Sorry.
Dang.
You're too far out. The signal doesn't carry this far. You know,
Wi-Fi's crap out here.
no discernible towers really out here in the ocean. If you had the upgrade to the NavSat Druidcraft, it might be working out for you.
Druidcraft 2.0.
You know, sure. With
You have to have-
you know.
Like 4G.
We're up to 5G now. Let's see. The G is for geraniums. So you notice the temperature drop. Mello, you don't really feel the temperature drop, but you definitely feel the wind like picking up. And from a different direction. Same thing that Tangaroa noticed. Satiel, you notice the sound of waves lapping against the boat. And last but not least, Zastari, you swear to all that you know that the deck is rocking just a bit more than what it was a moment ago. And that's when you feel a cold patter on the back of your neck. right where the flesh is exposed, and it trickles down your back into your shirt. And then a second pat hits your face, and then a third and a fourth. And pretty soon, all of you feel the cold sting of rain as you are just absolutely pelted by it. The ship is now rocking side to side as wave after wave and swell after swell scoops it up and then rocks it back down into the dip. And you just up and down. Ezra, you're no longer sleeping.
No, I
'Cause
feel like
there's-
he's just like laying there staring up at the sky like, why? Why now?
Fine, I guess.
I mean, who needs sleep? Not me.
As the ship starts to rock back and forth, up and down, each swell bringing it higher up into the, bringing it back down to the, every one of the crests and valleys and crests and valleys. The wind is really starting to howl, and it's not even falling down; it's falling at slashing angles. I need Zastari to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Y'all ever seen that movie Perfect Storm?
15.
Your stomach churns a little bit, and the last thought you have, or the first thought you have, is, "Oh." You do not vomit up from your shoelaces, which is probably for the best. I need, as it starts to rock, what are you guys doing? The storm is starting to come on you full. It hasn't hit you fully yet, but it's like right there at the cusp. So,
I
So
am
sorry.
taking the mast down. We
okay,
cannot
you're
have
lowering the
sails up.
mast.
Yeah,
Okay.
not while the storm's happening. That's too much.
Furling up the mast or the sails and lowering the mast. Okay.
Yeah, and he's going to take control of the oar on the back that steers to just try and keep them on course.
Okay.
Buckling down, there's nothing we can
So
do.
you've got the oar and just like manning all of your weight into it that you can.
Basically trying to keep so that we turn not quite into the waves, but so we don't hit them as dramatically.
Okay. Kind of more riding them as opposed to just being
Exactly, yeah.
handled by them. All right. What about you, Zastari? Let's start there.
I mean, I can only imagine I'm attempting to get myself lashed to something, but that deck is probably slippery as hell, and I'm not used to being on the ocean, so I can only imagine I'm slip-sliding myself across that deck, and it's not gonna end well.
You can hold the mast now. It's flat on the deck.
I have to
So-
get to it.
It's a
Give
big
me,
mast. It pretty much goes through the whole up through the whole ship.
It's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
17.
Okay, you manage to figure out, just calming yourself down for a second. You manage to catch whenever it hits the swell, there's that other side where you can use that to slide, and you kind of use that to propel yourself, and you're now at the mast. So you have the mast to hold on to.
Oh, I'm not holding on to anything. I am pulling out my rope, and I am tying myself to it.
All right, perfect.
Not
You
doing
better
that again.
fucking hope this boat doesn't tip over.
Bitch gonna drown.
Because then you're fucking tied to the boat as it's upside down.
Tangaroa,
what are you doing?
you're not helping.
Satya, what are you doing?
Well, as he never untied himself from the boat,
You're still tied to
he's-
the boat.
he's going to use prestidigitation on himself to heat his clothing to keep himself warm, because he can't heat living material; he can only do non-living. So he's going to heat his clothing. Then he's actually going to go back.
It's
to where
like
Tango-
dryer warm. It's
Pretty
like
much,
right out
yeah.
of the dryer warm.
Pretty much, yeah. Might be a little bit of steam coming off. With
Your
the cold.
owl looks
Y'all
a bit
know-
draggled.
Do
He's-
y'all know how to tie slip knots?
Yeah.
Cool. Do that. Don't
Um,
tie anything else but a slip knot.
He's going to dismiss his owl back to its plane,
Okay.
so it's not getting thrown around in the wind. Then he's actually going to go back where Tanga is. and see if he can help with the.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
What is with these 18s today?
Sounds a
21.
lot like complaining.
18?
21 total.
21. Okay. So yeah, you actually are able to kind of like get down on the ground and kind of like hand crawl your way over to where it's at, and then help. Now you're up beside Tenga. So the boat's still rocking up and down, but now you're back at the stern.
Yeah, when he gets back there, he'll sort of help Tango with things like, just let me know which way I need to pull this thing. I've got a real good sense of direction, so I can help you there.
Just follow my movement. If it becomes too much, I'd rather you batten and stay down and not risk falling off the back of this boat.
I'm tied down, but gotcha.
Cool.
Because now he's skiing. All right, Zora.
Control water, turns ice.
He's
The
frozen.
most undignified, like belly crawl over to the mast and tying herself to it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Okay. You were able to, very undignified, scrabble over to the mast and hold yourself there. Lashing yourself to the mast so that way you don't go flying all over the boat.
Like waves at Zestari. She's like, "Hi."
I just imagine one of you's on one side of the mast, one of you both just laying there. All right.
We
Ezra?
should have just went through wherever we were supposed to go through instead of the water.
Ezra helped where he could, bringing down masts with Tangaroa, and now he's just kind of trying to make sure nobody else falls off the boat. It's not going to go back where Setael and Tangaroa are. We don't need a lot of big people over there, so it's just
These things usually get turned by 3 or 4 people
That's
sometimes. So
you
But
can head
you
back
could.
there.
I could. I'll wait until he needs me. He's
All
got
right.
Setael back there right now. I'll just make sure none of the ladies fall off the boat.
Or Mello. Speaking of
The ladies.
Mello.
yeah, the ladies.
I didn't stutter. I said what I said. All right. That being said, then.
Against the player's better judgment, but because he's mellow, he is going to roll like a child rolls down a hill toward Tangaroa and Saiteal. Trying to help out.
This will go well.
I'm just trying to decide if I should make you do a Constitution saving throw to keep your cookies in, or if I should make you do a dexterity saving throw so you don't go sliding off the end of the ship. You know what? I'm going to make you do both.
I was gonna say, why not both?
So let's get a Constitution saving throw first.
All right.
If he pukes and then keeps going.
Well, I have good news. 18 on the die for a 22.
Okay, so you don't go.
Most undignified barrel
I
roll.
want you to water weasel just.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen like a fire hose out of
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This
Ooh.
was mellow, just
like crazy Daisy Kid toys.
Yeah.
All right. And
my side
let's see. You said it was.
shark.
Ooh. Was it that fancy fermented shark?
Dexterity saving throw to see if you tumble off into the water.
That's right. Here we go. Not going to argue. That is 21.
Sounds good. You guys are keeping your asses on the boat.
First for everything.
Yeah.
You get to where they're at and jump to your feet and surprisingly keep your momentum and keep yourself balanced. So you're back there where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
How you guys doing? You need help?
I'm not gonna say I wanted to see you fall off the boat doing that,
Good.
but I definitely wasn't expecting you to pull that off.
I didn't want to
I
see
do
you
what
go
I can.
off the boat, but I still kind of wanted to see you go off the boat.
Kind of
Now
want to see
that I
if you would
believe.
skip across the water, or if you would just kind of hit it in the sink. All
If
right.
you'd like
Hi,
to
Mello.
help, you're welcome.
Nice for you to join us.
Oh, thank you.
Go on Satiel's side, because probably the two of you equals Tonga's strength.
Ooh.
I'm not a
So-
strong guy, so I'll accept this.
Eh,
That's
Yeah.
fair.
yeah, that's fair.
What does mean?
It is at this point in time.
It means it's
that-
probably still not actually adding up to Tangaroa's strength.
It is at this point in time, as you grab the other side of the oar, there is a and blue streaks flash across the sky, and lightning starts striking down around where you're at. The water crests and falls, and you're trying all your best to keep from being spun out of control on the crests of the waves. I need you to give me another navigation roll.
Me?
Yes. This time, strength and proficiency, as you are just simply
Ooh,
trying to
there we go.
control the thing. You do have you're at a normal roll. It would have been at disadvantage if you were on your own. You have two people helping you, so you have advantage, making it a normal roll.
15.
Okay, you're able to keep the rudder, the oar in place, and not lose the grip on it. And you guys are continuing on your way. You're not spinning out of control anywhere. However, you're going to need to do something to try to keep this, because you don't know how long the storm is going to go. Let's see. Back of the boat. Middle on the mast. That means it's up to me. Awesome. As another crack of thunder and another peal of lightning seems to erupt from like the center of the clouds above you and go out. There's the world around you is lit up bright as day for one brief moment. I would like for all of you to give me perception checks, please.
Sorry,
Let's
what
see
roll?
if I gill at this.
Perception check, please.
I
Okay.
gill at it.
16.
14.
I also got a 16.
14. 1.
Who got
I
a
tempted
one?
my dice.
Ezra.
They chose to curse me for my hubris.
25.
25.
I got a 19 on the die. I have plus
Mellow?
6.
11.
I mean, it's a total of 3, but it's a 3.
I mean, you can't critically fail a skill check.
Yeah.
You can just roll shitty.
Yep.
Which is what you've done.
Like I said, I tempted my dice. They cursed me for my hubris.
Mm.
The rest of you are blinking your eyes away. However, Ezra, what you saw in that flash of light gave you concern, and you immediately dart to the rear of the ship as you realize that the path that they're on is going to take them to a small, rocky outcropping. A small
Por supuesto.
island almost in front of you.
Oh. Okay. I feel at this point he's gonna try and take over for Satael and Mello a little bit, just because I think I match Tonga's strength.
Move, weaklings!
Excuse me, boys, please. Pardon me.
That's more
No,
like
I
a
can
party
help.
dice.
I can help.
All right, fine. You on that side, Satael on this side. We'll all pull together.
I mean, I have a strength of 10, so.
Mello, what is your
18.
strength?
12.
Okay.
I have a +4.
You have a +4?
I have
I have
an
a
Tanga?
+4 as well.
Okay, so big boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ezra, I'm assuming that you're pointing out what you can see ahead.
Oh yeah.
And sure enough, in the distance, you can see a rocky outcropping that's almost as black as the night is. On the top of it is a structure, and it looks like a tower, just sitting out here in the middle of the ocean.
Kind of a crappy lighthouse.
And it's this stone is made out of some sort of dark material so that it's almost invisible against the dark of the night sky.
Definitely
Really
a
crappy
crappy lighthouse.
One of you owes the other one a Coke. Okay, she has one.
Does it say share
Steve,
with
you
Steve?
lost.
No,
Okay.
Oh.
That would have been hilarious if it was.
that would have
Yeah.
been way too fortuitous.
It
All right.
would have, yeah.
I would like for you decide who is going to give me the navigational check. It will be strength based as you are trying to steer this under duress in the storm as the waves are tossing you about.
Who is it, babe?
Oh God.
Flip a coin.
What?
Yeah. Coin.
Oh, I actually have a. This.
I have
thing.
nothing. I'll
So
flip
do you?
this glass full of water.
That iconic
Please
lavender.
You have so many dice.
Molly literally has a D2.
I literally have a D2 and it's got a little kraken on it.
It's iconic lavender. It's
Fair
One
adorable.
or
enough.
kraken? Call it V. One or kraken?
Kraken. What am I calling it for? Who does that mean?
One. So it's me.
Okay. I was like, wait.
Okay.
Again, it's going to be a normal roll.
With my strength modifier and proficiency. you
Strength
said?
modifier and proficiency.
– 19.
You are able to, with the both of you pulling at the oar, you watch as the ship, the bow of the ship starts to slowly drift aside. And just in time as you see small bits of jagged rock that seem to loom out of nowhere. Ahead of you, you can see a wharf. It's old, but it still seems to be standing there. A small dock that's part of this island. My brain immediately goes, and there's a girl in a gingham dress with an apron on it. Wait, no, wrong game. Anyways, you can see as you slide past it. It's maybe 30, 40 feet from you at the most. And eventually you kind of start to drift away from it, again, being lifted and dropped and lifted and dropped by the waves.
Do we want to stop there and wait out the storm?
Yes, we're not going to outrun this, and I don't want to risk anybody being thrown off this boat.
Okay. Give me one more navigation check, please.
With the strength modifier?
Correct.
Ooh. 12.
All right. It's a little tough getting in there, and you watch. What are you going to do? You're about to slide past it. You can't quite bring the boat around to get up alongside of it.
I'm going to do my little grappling thing.
Okay. So you're throwing a grappling hook? Okay.
No. The thing where I rappel down the side. And
Oh,
turn
yes.
it.
Yeah. I thought you said grappling, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Rappel. Everybody hold on, please.
So Ezra's at the oar,
Yes.
and all of a sudden you watch as Tanga breaks loose from the oar, leaving it in your hands.
Fantastic.
Satya.
Grabs,
Yeah, goes like, please, Satya, move right there. Goddamn.
grabs,
He never left the back.
grabs a rope, runs out, and jumps off of the side. And you watch as he swings out, and as he does, the front end of it is just pulled over the side. And he starts running down the edge of the boat, tugging as he goes. All right, this time, Ezra, give me strength plus proficiency. You have a normal roll because this time you're being helped out by Tango, who's actually literally pulling the boat.
18.
You feel the front of it as Tango runs down the side, boom, bump up against the very end of the wharf. Quickly lashing the sides, I need some sleight of hands from people. Who's jumping out to tie off and moor this vessel?
Oh, me, definitely.
Okay, sleight of hand check, please.
Sleight of hand. What's my proficiency on that? Oh,
Nothing.
1. Good. 1.
Who else is jumping off to moor the vessel?
I will
Oh.
do the thing.
Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
No, I'm still helping Ezra,
Okay.
so I wouldn't be
Still
able to.
holding the.
Yeah.
17.
10, it's just me, like, you're doing great.
What did you get, Tenga?
The 3.
He's trying his best.
I love it.
Still holding on to the rappelling rope to kind of pull it against the wharf. You try to lash it, and in the rain, you miss the mooring. However, with the help of Mello, who jumps off and is like, "Oh, tie it here, cool." He ties off one mooring. You'll need to
Talented
secure
hands.
2 more. Who else is going to help tie one of the other moorings? You 2 are lashed to the boat, so you're not doing anything.
Oh,
Zora's just
God.
inwardly screaming, maybe a little outward screaming.
It's that one where it bubbles up and just a little bit escapes.
Satael, if you want to go try, I'll hold on to this. Those 2 are tied. What are they gonna do? Cry, probably.
Which is exactly what Zasari's doing.
I can't tell the rain.
It's just rain.
Just
I'm
rain.
not crying. It's just-
You're crying.
Eric, you're
Eric, you're
muted.
muted.
Screw my life.
I owe you another Coke.
As I saw, Till may or may not be grinning. He's having fun.
Sicko.
If Mello
enjoying
is
it?
holding tight to that one, can
You can try to
Taco go?
lash that other one again.
12?
Okay.
12 will do it. You actually moor
Okay.
that one.
13.
Okay.
I'll say I
Then
rolled
you're
a
actually
9, so.
all 3 of them are. The boat is now secured to the wharf.
Okay.
Do you
Sawtail's
let-
immediately going for his things.
I grab the halfling out of the glove box.
Yeah, he'll open it up, look down. Hey, Hannah, we found a stone tower out in the middle of the sea. We're going to stop here so we can wait out the storms. That sound good?
She looks up at you, like pushes her hair out of her face, and just like all matted down. Oh, yes, great. The office rig. And she kind of like hoists herself up, grabs her pack, slings it over her shoulder, kind of
Do you mind sliding mine to me while you're down there?
slides your pack over to you.
Thank you.
Ezra will go
Hannah-
for the girls.
Tonga is gonna go up actually to this stone tower, and he's gonna start like is there a door like obviously.
Hey, Tonga, before you go,
Look around.
What?
go grab a rock, light, toss it over to Tonga, like just in Tonga's direction.
And hits Tonga in the
What's
back.
this for?
Just in case you need it.
Okay. All right. He heads up. He's gonna find a door or an entrance and start
All right.
knocking.
I mean, hey, it's a
But, like,
torch that's
kind of,
unaffected by rain.
Like
so.
urgently, very urgently.
Okay. Making your way. There is a set of stairs or steps, really. They are they're splayed out and they're as wide as almost the circumference, and then they kind of narrow as they go up. And you can see a heavy wooden door with a ring on the center of it. As you start to mount, you realize that the steps are pretty wide. Like you have to take 2 or 3 steps to get to the next step, and 2 or 3 steps to get to the next step, so forth and so on.
It's a giant
Okay.
tower.
As you get to the door, you can see that it is quite large, like
Oh no.
bigger than you could think. Not. I mean, yeah, it's a big damn door.
Okay.
The pull ring is about that big around, and you can see that it's like pretty big. Like you
Look
can
at the
put
size of
both
those
of your
knockers.
hands and probably a third hand in there. Stop it! No.
What? I love that movie.
You can get like both hands and like 2 more hands in this ring, and it's big around as you go to lift it and let it fall. Gunk, gunk.
Okay. Yeah. Just very, very patiently.
Boom, boom, boom.
But knocking as hard as fast as he can. He's
All
urgent.
You don't have to wait very long. The door opens, and a rather cheery light inside, warm, you are greeted with. Also, a rather large figure. Yeah, you're looking up a little bit. Not like craning your neck to see, but they're probably close to 9 feet tall.
Okay.
They.
The person.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I haven't identified a gender. Maybe they don't have non-binary. You don't know. They.
The moral of the story is the English language is stupid.
Oh, mine went to there's more than one of them there.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was.
They, singular, individual, nondescript.
See also my English comment.
Okay.
He's not going to waste any time. He's going to start speaking to them. Hello, we're so sorry to trouble you, but the storm is really starting to take a hold of our boat, and we need some sanctuary just for the night to wait out the storm. If you could permit us to stay on the island, all my friends are cold, and just for a little while to wait out the storm.
It looks down at you with this kind of slate gray skin, no facial hair. The hair on the head is just kind of like combed, cut, kind of like mine, but it's like a blue white color. It looks at you thoughtfully for a second and then says, "Oh, of course. Come in. Your friends, come in."
He'll turn and he'll signal down for everybody to come up.
So you'll have to go back around because you had to come around the
okay.
tower.
All right. Yes, I'll be right back. Be right back. And so he's gonna go and as soon as he can see them, he's gonna come on,
So getting everyone together, Hannah included. You come back around the corner and you can see that the door is open. Now there are folded, looks like blankets, but more like tent covers. They're huge. And the figure motions each one of you in as you do, kind of tries to drape one of them around you carefully, each one of you, and then just starts to hand them to you, and it's like grabbing it up. It's like huge and bundled. Come by the fire. You're gonna catch cold. Come in. The figure moves over and there are several chairs. It's actually like a bench and 2 chairs so that it can hold everybody. For those of you who struggle to climb into the seat, it holds its hands out. Can I lift you to the chair?
I'd say, but before we all do, Sawteel will use prestidigitation to at least get all the water out of everybody's clothing and just sort of toss that outside.
Hannah looks up at the figure and looks down at herself. Hey, if you could. Daintily lifts and sets her down onto the chair. Looks at the rest of you expectantly.
Zora's right next to her because she's not that much taller than her. She's like,
gently, and I mean, it's very gently picks you up and sets you on the chair or on the bench.
thank you.
Of course, I'm happy to help.
Tonga, I don't think he'll have a problem.
Probably not.
I don't think
He'll say, "Thank you so much for your generosity. It's just for a little while. We don't want to be a burden. We cannot sail in this weather."
It's very very bad. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So thank you.
You're welcome. Are you hungry?
I mean, I could eat.
Oh, okay. What What do you eat?
Oh, anything really. I eat mostly seafood and
Fish.
yeah, fish.
I've lots of fish in my larder. I'll make you some food.
Excellent.
Okay. Um, the long dark robes are nondescript. You can see that they're kind of a dark brown, almost like a sackcloth. Um, you're not sure if they're short or tall, or like tall for their race or short for their race. They seem to walk a little hunched over, but they don't move with any indignity. They don't seem to be slowed down by anything. They seem to be, gracefully moving about the place. As they said about in this oversized kitchen, cooking a meal for everyone. You can smell. You're not sure about spices or what's being used. There's really nothing out like this in the middle of the ocean. So let alone anything else.
If I can, I'd like to make some kind of a check to see if I can figure out what race this creature is.
Nature.
Nature? Okay. Given the very tall size, he's like... I wonder if this is some kind of giant or giantkin, maybe. Nature. There it is. That's an 18.
Mm-hmm.
14 plus 4.
You recognize them, although one this small is almost unheard of. This would be like a little person equivalent to basically like a storm giant. A lot of the nature of it and things like that, it looks like a storm giant, but like a smaller version of one.
Satil's just sitting there, just listening to all this happen. He looks at this person for a second, pauses, and goes, "Oh." Huh.
Huh?
Are we gonna
What?
finish that inside thought for the outside?
Oh, sorry. He'll pause, see if like this person, how far away are they in comparison to the rest of the group?
Oh, crossing over to the kitchen for them is nothing, but for you guys, probably about 80 feet away.
80 feet away. Okay, so he'll
When I say this tower is huge, I meant
yeah,
like the
It's
size
giant
is
size.
lost to you. Yeah.
yeah. He'll talk kind of quietly for the rest of the party. He's like, well, they're kind of this person's kind of small for someone of their race, but I believe that's a storm giant.
Zora's kicking her feet. Like, they seem nice. Like, completely disappeared in the blanket. All you see is her eyes.
Well, do you have a
Panda's
gift
gonna,
to give them?
He's kind
Not
of like,
really.
keep going.
I'm just kind of.
What do you have? What do you give them? Think they have anything favorite?
I don't know. Is that be something I would know maybe about storm giant culture? No history or something maybe?
Give me a history check. Yeah.
History check. Okay.
Wait, can I
Slightly
make one
better
too?
at
Because
this.
I actually have history as a good
Sure.
proficiency.
Now that you know what it is, yeah, absolutely.
18.
18.
16.
16. They are a solitary creature. They don't live in big communities. They generally live of their own. So seeing one out by themselves is not unusual. They are not known to be malevolent. Some histories even taught you that some of them can be prophets. But yeah, they usually don't communicate with their kind. They're somewhat solitary.
Solitary.
Solitary. There you go. Words.
Mm.
This one seems different. Like what you remember of them, it seems different than what history has taught you. That could be the history books being wrong, or something else.
Hearing that Satael has said he's a storm giant, Ezra would like to go see if he can help with any of cooking preparation. One, because he loves food and he's terrible, but he's also going to ask if he can help in giant.
Oh. As you say that in giant, it looks down at you and says in giant, it's been a long time since I've spoken giant with anyone. It's nice to hear. Thank you for asking. I'm maybe some cups for drinking. I've got some tea on the eye, ready to drink.
Perfect. Anything else I can help with, please let me know.
It's nice to hear the giant. My name is Farron.
There. I am Ezra.
Ezra. That is an easy name to say. Thank you.
As I'm saying, just going, I'm sorry in advance.
Oh, yes, that's true. I just thought about that. As a matter of fact, as Farron says that, reaches over and grabs a giant-ish tea kettle, and looks around and says, "I don't have any small cups for your size."
Well, I can check amongst my friends, see if anybody holds cups with them.
Oh, good. That's a good idea.
As we all check our inventory.
Everybody's
We're all
going,
just like, we don't have cups, do we? Fuck.
druid crafting cups.
No, when she heard something about gifts, she's digging through her pockets, like looking for any like seeds or anything. Like I could make flowers.
I have a feeling that just knowing who I have made Mello to be, he would absolutely have a tin can with a leather strap wrapped around it.
You would have your own drinking. That's part of your accessory. It's like it's like just hanging there. He's got the rapier on the right side, but the mug on the leather thong. I'm ready to go. I need to give an unbreakable tea set to someone so they can just carry it with them all the time.
Ooh.
Zora.
I volunteer as tribute. I'd actually been looking at someone made like leather holsters for teacups.
Awesome.
I saw that. Oh, that was great.
How did I not see that?
It's like a gun holster, too. It's really weird.
It was amazing.
I need one of those.
All right. I'm going to assume that we all have some sort of drinking implement, or we can druid craft something or come up with something.
Yeah.
Satiel, for those that don't, we use prestidigitation to make some.
And it's for 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Drink fast.
Even if
Basically.
it's scalding, swallow it.
Chug.
All right.
Basically, I'll say just to prevent that, he will keep using prestidigitation to maintain the form of the
Okay.
objects in question.
So, a round of you, enough of you drinking implement. And you watch as Farron gently walks over and he pours just a little bit into Zastari's cup, and then in common says to Zastari, I'm Farron. It is nice to meet you.
My name is Astari, and it is a pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you for allowing us into your home and your solid land.
You're welcome, Zastari. Welcome. He walks over to Satael and pours some into your cup.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they walk over and pour some into your cup. I am Farron. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Satiel, but if it makes it easier, you can just call me Sai.
Sai is easier to say. He walks over and pours some into Tangaroa's cup. I am Farron. It is nice to meet you.
Farron.
Farron.
I am Tangaroa. You may call me Tonga.
Tonga. Tonga.
Or fish, if that's easier
Fish.
for you.
You were not a fish.
Hi,
You were
well,
a triton.
that's right. Not many people know that.
I've been here a very long time. Walks to Zora, pours a little bit of tea into your cup. I am Farron. It's nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Zora.
Zora. That is an easy one to say.
It is. It is.
And he pours some into Ezra's. Hello again, friend Ezra. And he pours some into Ezra's cup. And then he goes to Mello last. And he pours in. And then once again gives his introduction. I am Farron. It is nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you kindly, friend. My name's Mello, but my friends call me Mel.
Mel is an easy one to say. Well, I like the easy ones. And he sets the tea kettle back on the stove several feet away, and comes back. I said 80 earlier. It's not 80. It's like 60 feet. But anyways, he comes back over with a large tray, and you can see as he sets the tray onto a large table that is in front of you, there is several fish that are laid out and have been braised and or seared, and you can see that the scales have been peeled back so that you can get to the white flesh underneath easily. There are several root vegetables, but looking around, you're not sure where they came from. But there is also a seaweed that has been made into a salad, and the greens are there, and several other things that are laid out for you to eat. He or they offer that up there by separating their hands out and just kind of saying, "Enjoy and help yourselves." There, we are friends, and manners aren't necessary. Enjoy. And with that, he sits across from you all with a large teacup in his hands and sips slowly. You are a long way from land. Why?
Asked myself that all week.
Well, we
It's a
are.
story too.
We're traveling up to Jopus Landing.
I know of it. Mm-hmm.
It's my home, actually.
I've never been there.
It's very nice. Our thought process anyway was it would be easier to go by boat to avoid going through the wastes.
Tonga's got like a mouthful of fish and he's like, "Oh, savior."
Swallow before you speak, please.
Just
It is easier.
Yeah.
That's true. The waste is no place for people to walk. It's dangerous.
hmm Yeah, I've been through it before. I don't really want to go through it again if I can help it.
Magic doesn't work right there.
Well, glad we didn't go because magic is pretty much all I've got.
Are you okay, Steve?
Yeah, I just had an awful idea.
Oh no.
Are you gonna share that with the rest of the class?
Eventually.
Oh no.
It's Steve. We'll never hear about it until he's acted on it.
The fish is not bland. It's not overly salty. It's actually like perfectly salted. The same with the salad, the kale salad, or the kale. Jesus, the seaweed
Sea kale.
salad. Sea kale.
Delicious.
Somewhere out there, people who hate kale are just like. So there is, but it's perfectly seasoned. Farron seems rather resourceful.
Yeah. So after eating a little bit and drinking the tea, he'll look up at Farron's like, if you don't mind me asking, I'm making an assumption here, sorry if I'm wrong, but what's a storm giant doing all the way out here?
You are correct. I'm storm giant, or something like that. I'm not as big as others. So I was forced out early on.
Mm.
I've found that this place is the best for avoiding conversation. Because that you can tell I've got a bit of a the
A stutter?
speech that
It's fine.
Do you
Sometimes I
sing? Odd question, but do you?
hmm?
Do you sing?
No.
I think you should take it up. You don't stutter when you sing.
I've just saw Steve. Elizabeth. No. um, he's spraying Mellow with a water bottle.
yeah.
Spraying Steve with a water bottle. That's it. I'm sending a message to your wife. I just need to have her on tap so I can tell her to spray you with a water bottle. Just out of the corner, we'll just see somebody coming in.
Just need to set it up for Wi-Fi or something.
Oh my
Nuts.
goodness. No, I don't. I don't sing. I practice magic occasionally.
What can you do?
Immediate Satya perk up.
Small things. I don't study it. I just kind of picked it up innately.
It's the best way to do it.
Do any of you practice magic?
I do.
I don't really practice it. I could do this. He like holds his hands up and then like from some of the water like condensation like outside he like just makes a little bit of fog. Just like
Oh.
that's all I got.
That's
I don't want to holy
lovely.
smite anybody. So that's
Smite the fish, it'll be fine.
check this out.
Smite the fish on the table, it'll be fine. It'll be a good show.
Oh, good
Just-
grief.
It just explodes everywhere.
No. With
First three
the
rows are a splash zone.
Oh no.
If anybody's willing to be
Storm
holy
Giant
smite, I
Gallagher.
can lay on
Alright.
lay on hands. You right back to help.
I mean,
Just smite him and then lay hands.
yeah.
I can do this. Ready for 2 tricks?
What's hey guys, it's fixed. There it is again.
Yeah. Satil will call his owl back. Just boom.
And I'll make some dancing lights because I don't know. Seems
Cantrip.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Cantrips, exactly, because cantrips.
Dora's probably found a seed by now and is just druid crafting a flower.
So as you can tell, we all have most of us anyway, have
Ezra's just like sadly looking
Some-
at his hands.
Zestaria is
some
just sitting
form
there
of
next
magic.
to Ezra, also just sadly looking at her hands.
Zora druid crafts a couple flowers and just hands them down like, oh, here you go, guys.
You've noticed, or maybe have not noticed yet, but as you guys start to talk about the magic, Theron has actually gotten off of their chair and is now sitting cross-legged with their hands, like with their head in their chin hands.
I'm keeping him.
Keep him. He'll fit on the boat, right?
And
All right,
that's
hang
when
on,
he
hang on.
turns out to be evil. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Hey, I'm
Uh,
pretending to juggle the lights.
Well, what can you do?
I can some things here and there, and he
Lightning bolt.
you know,
Wall of wind.
he reaches out or
They're horrible people.
takes a small stone out of their pocket, and then I say a small stone. It's like that big to you guys. It's like it lights up, and puts it down, and so it's like bright. And then takes the stone and moves their hand over it, and the stone levitates off the table, just a few feet. And then
Can you do that to people too?
if they're willing, I
want to fly. I want to fly. I want to fly.
It's not it's not flying. It's just levitating. It
Well.
lifts you off the ground.
Yeah.
And this is something you just learned on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Your knowledge
inwardly-
will let you know that they have some innate ability.
Yeah. Satil inwardly like, damn it, there's no spell books.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is
More
what it is.
sorcerer, less wizard.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of figured.
Theron steeples his fingers for a second and says, "You want to levitate?"
Yes.
Okay. And reaches out their hand, and you feel like a little, like a comforting tingle that kind of washes over you, and you just kind of levitate off the ground, maybe 5 feet in the air. You can't move at all. You can't go or do anything because you're just like sitting there floating.
Mello's been scooting closer this whole time and takes the opportunity to. You know how in an office chair you can just sort of spin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna do that to Tangaroa.
Tanga's just spinning slowly. Farron gives you this very honest, guffawing laugh that's both a little endearing and a little grating at the same time. But eventually you feel yourself lowered to the ground until you touch, and then the warm kind of the little effervescent feeling goes away. Um, if
That was nice. Thank you.
friends, I may have a confession to make about the storm there. I've been practicing, and it may have been partly my fault.
You couldn't have known we were out there.
True, but still, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hmm?
For,
What should be sorry
I
about
think
practicing
maybe
magic?
there were a couple people that needed a break from the water anyway.
your friends is Starry doesn't like the water.
Yeah.
Zora doesn't either.
He looks over to
No,
Sitari and he's like, when we have a moment, I'm gonna teach you how to swim.
You are never gonna get me back in that water as soon as we get onto full land.
So you'd rather risk drowning rather than know how to save yourself?
I'm just never gonna go on a goddamn boat again. And then I never need to know how to swim.
but if you don't get on a boat, when I wouldn't see you again.
Well, if she never got on a boat again, she'd actually be here the rest of her life.
You don't want that, Farron.
That is true.
I heard her say that once she got on to normal land, that then she wouldn't get on the boat again.
Oh, okay.
That's what you said, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
have a sword waiting for
That's
me when we hit Jopus Landing.
oh okay.
Can't really get that sword if I'm dead because I've drowned in water.
Figure
Let
out a
you
way to bring her
die.
back here.
I've never let you die yet. Think I'm gonna let you
No,
drown?
you should all rest for the night. The
Sounds good.
storm should be gone by I'll make you some breakfast too.
You should like hold up the piece of tuber root she's eating. She's like, "Do you have a garden here?"
There's one down and under here.
Oh, like a root cellar kind of thing.
Yeah, like a root cellar.
Ah,
Um, there's some beds upstairs. If you want to sleep on one, or you can sleep by the hearth here. And of course, there's a hearth with a nice fire going, and it's not just like a big open space. There's like wall separating stuff out, but from where you're at and kind of like where the hearth is to the kitchen is wide open. But you can see there's a large archway leading into another part of the downstairs. And just through there, you can see a set of stairs big enough for Farron to climb up and down. Probably be for you guys to literally climb up and down. But you can see that there's a set of stairs that go up somewhere. Underneath the stairs that are going up, you can kind of just barely make out a set of stairs as well.
get the grappling hook and the rope.
Strength checks to climb the staircase.
Bring it on.
Is this sorry?
No,
Just gonna take
don't
the
bring it
blanket,
on.
drag it over in front of the fire,
Just the
make
big
it
thing that
into
you
a
got just
bed.
making
Yeah.
a nest.
Yeah. She's gonna fold it until it's basically a mattress her size. And that's
Yeah.
what she's sleeping on with her bedroll.
And they're big enough to absolutely got to break out of the stutter in my head. They're absolutely all big enough for you guys to do that if you'd like to do so. So you can all climb in and make those into beds in front of the and it would be comfortable. They're actually kind of comfy. I mean, they're not bare.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to do anything else? Farron looks at you and stifles you on.
Baron's tired.
Yes.
Bed with this boy.
The DM's okay. Farron's tired. Farron stands him. Eat the elf. Farron stands up and takes all the foodstuffs away, assuming that you're all done, and puts them down. In the time that you guys were in, come to learn that he's kind of, or they've kind of imposed themselves in sort of a self-exile here on this island, allowing them to practice magic with their own unique style to it, given the speech impediment, so that way they can control the magic and not have it like fizzle out. Something that you learned, Satael, that happened a lot when they were younger, growing up into it. And again, the storm giant's face is very, you look at me with the beard, but very androgynous. There's like no facial hair, and the hair is kind of can go either way. Never gives you any indication one way or the other. Just merely talks about how it's really nice to have visitors, even if you just come here by accident and are only staying for the night. It's still nice. Ezra, he converses, or they converse with you in Giant more than Common. So like they'll say something to everyone, but then we'll add more to it in Giant. And you notice that the Common, the speech impediment is really noticeable. In Giant, it's a lot more subdued. It's still there, but it's more subdued. Just given the nature of how the language works, it doesn't require as much forward movement as it does guttural. So
after a while of that back and forth between that, Satiel would just use comprehend languages just so he'd know what's going on.
Much like a lot of other languages that are out there, including Germanic and Latin languages, that there are pronouns that are used in the language itself. So whenever they refer to something that they own or that they have or an object or things like that, Farron does give you the indication of using a lot more of the masculine version of those words and those terms. So giving you the indication that regardless of what they identify as, that the idea is that they're using masculine terms to identify their association with the world. So there's that. But with that, Farron takes away the rest of the dishes and puts them away. And then after making sure that you're all comfortable, climbs the stairs, heading to bed. And with that, we're going to take a short break while they take a long rest. We're going to refill our drinks, go to the restroom, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll be back at about 40, let's call it 20 till. Please stick around. Tell everybody we are still on. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back as soon as we get refreshed. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Dire Bear Adventuring Company with the Escorts, episode 10, Monday night, and we'll be back soon. Stay tuned.
The summer's calling. The summer's calling. If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling. As we wait for the smoke to clear and we watch our dreams appear, I know that we can rise together. This vision that we share is ours. Together we can touch the stars. I know that we will see December. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling.
peace in the dark of night. Tabletops counting eyes in the early hours. Stone cold inside. Banging drops, dancers, never needing answers. We wander all alone, but we can't find the street lights go. We wander all alone, but we can't deny we are the street light people. Chasing whatever kills. For so long I forgot how it feels in the dark of night. Tabletops counting eyes in the early hours. Stone cold inside. Banging drops, dancers, never needing answers. We wander all alone, but we can't find the street lights go. We wander all alone, but we can't deny we are the street light people.
Knelt to pray today, but no one's listening anymore. Do I need to fade away or stay here laying down on the floor? I want to know if you'll be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Can you help me find a way? Where is the God that I need? Can I get some help today? Lord, help me with the blood that I bleed. I want to know if you be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Anxiety taking over me,
Temptation, your eyes pulled me under, but I will wait for you. There's nothing left for me to do than run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes of diamonds keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone.
Yeah. 11 years, I've seen weird shit. Seen some shit.
Well, that was an interesting note to come back on.
PTSD Poe.
I didn't know we were coming back!
I didn't get the heads up either.
Surprise,
Welcome
we're
back,
back.
everyone.
We've seen some shit.
Welcome back, folks. We've seen some shit. That's our new motto for Direbear Adventuring Company. We've seen some shit.
To get back to land, we've seen some shit.
That's Direbear Adventuring Company. We do some shit. We've seen some shit. That's it.
What is this shit?
It's like our Arby's, but it's we got the shits. Wait, no,
Oh,
Totally different thing.
that's different. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's okay. All three of our viewers drops to nothing. Oh, bye, guys. Okay. So the night, everybody gets a long rest in. Night passes peacefully, and when you awaken the next morning, the smell of something delicious cooking wakes you up.
roast beast.
No, it's more fish.
Fish bacon.
A fish can be a beast.
Fish bacon. No. Mm-mm. No. Doesn't have
Splasher rasher.
That needs to be a
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you for that, Steve. DM story time. As we all know, I live in the South. My parents are from the South. My mom is as Southern as they come. To hear me talk and to hear my mom speak, it's like, where did I come from? Because my mom is very, very Southern. Like, cannot help it, very Southern. One of the things that she has been known to do for breakfast is to make fish for breakfast. Fish cutlets and pieces of fish and things like that. However, in her house, no catfish, no bottom feeding fish, white fish only. So bass, crappie, trout, all sorts of things like that. Which brings me to our story. I go to my mom's house and there is breakfast that has been prepared, but I'm a little later than breakfast, but there's still some leftovers. And she points and I said, oh, it's fish. She says, yeah, see if you like it. It's never a good way to start off a breakfast meal, but I tried anyways. Tasted like a white tender fish to me, so I was like, tastes great. You have your seasoning that you love to put on there, and it's fantastic. She's like, I don't really like it. I was like, okay, well, what is it? She says it's sea bass. And I'm like, well, that is decidedly different than a freshwater bass or trout or crappie that you normally eat. So yeah, I can see how you like it. At that point in time, she piled on the 2 bags of it that she had bought and gave it to me to take with me. She's like, I don't like it. You can take it. So now in my freezer, there is sea bass because my mom doesn't like it. The end. All right. So I have not made any of it. It's still in the freezer.
Went to Ohio a couple weeks ago and they had walleye up there and I'm like, I'm bringing some of that back.
It's funny for all of she doesn't like bottom feeding fish. She says it tastes kind of funky to her. But
It
like
tastes of where it came from.
bottom. Unless you get the farm raised stuff. That's different.
Bottom
Those just taste like shoes, right?
Yes, exactly. No, for all of that, my family, the majority of it is in Louisiana. No, it's spread across Mississippi and Louisiana, but all along the coast. And they eat a lot of bottom feeders. Like catfish is something that they eat all the time. And I can tell you that I can taste the difference. But anyways, Farron is not making catfish. Breakfast is served, and Farron is quiet, not morose, just quiet. But still seems to be happy to have guests in the house, and is bopping around and setting out a table, and each one of the plates looks slightly larger than what you're used to. But they ladle food on plates for each of you, and there is plenty to go around. Does not stop any of you from asking for seconds or anything else like that. Fortunately, says the only thing they have to drink. Breakfast, though, is quite filling. And as you are preparing to set off for the day, Farron offers you a small crate. And I say a small crate, it's a regular sized crate. That wide, that big, and it's about that deep.
Small for them.
And it's heavy. It's got some density to it. As you look, you can see between the slats of the covering of the crate a white crystalline mineral. This should keep for the travels. It is fish packed in salt. It should keep for the remainder, so you have for your trip.
Thank you very much.
Bobs her head up.
Thank you. You've been nothing but generous to us.
People should be kind to one another. Always.
I agree with that.
Zora, and takes a small sack, like a shoulder bag for you, and hands it to you. And you can see in there some sort of tuber or root vegetable.
I'm going to fry this up somehow or bake it.
It's very hearty, so you'll want to boil it or blanch it.
Okay.
Because it's tough. Not as tough as turnips, but still, it's best if you do that.
She kind of nods and then goes up and tries to give them a hug, which, considering how tiny she is, hugging their knee or something.
Their hands come up for a second, and then they just kind of reach down and gently pat your back.
She looks at it. She's like, thank you. When we come back, I'll let you know how it goes.
I would like for further visit if you get a chance. That you are very, very kind, all of you. Thank you.
Well, now that we've been here once, I'll always know the way.
You've probably run into my people before. If you know what a Triton is, most likely we will be back.
I've know your kind for a while. They were always good to me.
We try to be good people.
All people should. The Sahagin don't like.
They don't really like us either. We don't really like them back. There's no reasoning with them.
No, they're not very kind to people.
But you know what? They're delicious.
I don't eat them. They look like they would taste bad.
Well, palatable doesn't mean it's not full of calories.
Don't keep them down.
You
They're
eat what
full.
you catch. Parents like I've got a bunch in a cage under the tower. No. Anyway,
I thought they were crab pots.
Horrible.
the like frog legs, they just bounce in the pan. Oh God, there's this healthy crab legs, frog legs. Anyways, helps you shove off. As you do, you
I'd say before we do leave and everything, like probably before breakfast, Satiel would take some time to pull his notebooks out and sort of go over them and review them, since it has been about a month. So he's just going to go over his stuff, make sure he still remembers everything again, and then he'll put it away.
give me a sanity check.
I kind of figured this was coming. Not bad. 16 plus 4, 20.
Okay. Despite the journals being written of two minds, two places, you're able to discern the reality as it is from the reality that it was, and you're able to actually keep your focus instead of being trapped somewhere in between.
And in note of that, he will make additions to the time before to sort of write in shorthand with it as like, this is what it was, like how it should have been in our current world. Just try to avoid that trap in the future.
Give me a perception check.
Like how he thinks it should have been, but perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 16.
Some of the notes, even though you're reading over them in the journal of how it should be, you're reading the notes and you're like, you do a double take as you look at it because you swear there were more notes in there. But as you kind of double take back, you're mistaken.
Okay.
All right. So you pack up. Anything else that you would like to do before we're set off?
Well, I of course do my prayer for departure to his god of the sea, which you know why that's special.
I do. As you finish your prayer and chant, you raise the mast.
Yes.
As you do, you watch as Farron starts to move there in very intricate gestures. And it's not singing, but it is sing-song. And when he finishes, the wind seems to pick up and fill the sail. And he sends you out, controlling the weather to allow you to get out to sea faster. As he disappears in the distance, you can see turning back to look at him.
So we're probably like waves, like until they're out of sight.
Ezra too, definitely.
And that is where you leave Farron on his island, waving.
We've got to go back there someday. He seems nice, but lonely.
Well, clearly, if he's seen my people, we've run into him before. Maybe not me personally, but we've been around for a long time.
Yeah. But still, I mean, being out there and being different, he probably doesn't get a lot of visitors.
Yeah.
Well, we've been there once. I always know the way now.
Maybe we
So
can
your
find a
owl
way to
can
get
send
there.
a postcard.
Post doesn't run here.
Well, that's why you have the owl.
We need to change it to a seagull or an albatross.
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 All right.
Stork.
Who is Stork? All right.
Red herring?
Who has the helm?
Good question. Ezra usually takes it during the day.
I mean, we've been doing all right with that
Yeah,
combo.
you could take it during the day, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a navigation roll, please.
$15.
Okay. The wind and the sails, you continue on your way, and the first part of the day passes. Go ahead and give me another roll.
$19.
The first day passes without any issue. You've now been at sea for, what, about 7 days?
Ish.
Give or take?
Yeah. About a week.
Go ahead and give me another roll for the evening time. So this would be Tanga.
Oh.
Go ahead and give me 2 rolls as well.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Do, 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 do. What did you say it was? The wisdom and the proficiency?
Wisdom and proficiency.
First one, 13.
Okay.
Second one, a critical. So that's 4.
The night is obscured by clouds. Not storm, but clouds. And while you're used to navigating even with just a few stars, something about the sky at this time of night. And while you don't lose your way thanks to someone always knowing which way is north, you also are a little reticent to travel at the speed that you were. So you kind of let the sails down a bit. And it, of course, causes you to lag behind. However, you've been making really good time. Off to the port side. Who else is awake at this time?
Like, how late is it?
It's probably the better part of the
going
night.
through
So
the
let's say
night,
like this,
right? Yeah.
Let's say like it's about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Let's say I'd been getting the star navigation training, so I think Satil would probably have gotten used to being up during the night
Okay.
while we're on the boat.
The 2 of you give me a perception check.
That
I
and
will
just
assume the rest of you are sleeps.
I'll say that and just give Tonga some company too.
Another
I mean-
fucking crit fail. What the hell? I'm changing this dice.
Put it in jail. 20.
Okay. Far off on the port side, almost out of your sight, you see lights. At first, you think it's a far version of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Are you summoning?
The owl, yeah, he's
Mila?
summoning his owl and sending Mila out that way.
Mila flies to the edge of your vision and like your connection
Mm-hmm.
before turning around and still doesn't get close to the lights.
Are they on the horizon? That's like 7 miles away.
Mm.
So that's pretty fucking far away.
Well, as dim as they are, yeah, you're looking at them like it's a glint off of the horizon, even.
That's really far away.
Yeah. He'll summon the owl back. It's like, well, as long as you've been out on the water, do you know if there's any towns or cities around here?
No. Okay, wait. Are there clouds in the sky?
There are.
Cloud patterns change around island places of land. So I don't know if are they changed around that area?
They just seem to be a general coverage. They're not
Okay.
like.
Nothing that I can tell. It's definitely out on the water. It's not any place where.
You're not sure. I'm giving you a you're not sure.
No. Well, then I don't know.
Mm.
They don't obviously appear to be a trace of land, but the horizon is about 6 or 7 miles away from us, so we'd have to make a conscious decision to go there if we wanted to. But
Yeah, the curiosity in me wants to see what that is, but
it would
at the
be
same time,
putting us off track. We'd be a little behind if we went that way.
it really would. At the same time, I really want to go home for a little while.
Make your decision.
Tell you what. If by the morning, if they have not left our vision and they have not gotten any closer, they're getting further away, then we ignore them. If it appears to be closer in the way that we're going, like we're going to meet it at some point, we can start turning to investigate. But I would much rather stay on track and ignore it than put us off course and off schedule.
Yeah, let's stay on course.
Okay. But do they appear to be any closer? Like in the morning?
No. As the morning and the sun breaks over the east, they are. It's still far away, and as light from the sun kind of rises, you start to lose sight of it because of the ambient light.
This isn't anywhere that Tonga has been, right? Like Hugh doesn't know this area.
You've not been to this far north of your normal path. Port Awapal is like your general port of trade. So you've been to Port Awapal several times, but not to this far north of there.
I was gonna say, it better not be my family out there, and we're just ignoring them.
No.
Satiel will make note of sort of our general area, knowing that we're probably around the halfway point between Port Awapal and Jopus Landing at our current speed. Just sort of on a map, and he'll make a note to check in the scriptorium back home to see if there's anything that might be there around the coast.
All right. At the changing of the guards, go ahead and give me another roll, please.
Me this time, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Please. No, you're good. Just give me one roll.
14.
14? You stay on track throughout the entirety of the day. Second day outside of Farron's Island passes into the evening. Give me one roll.
Me? Oh.
Yes. Sorry. I'll start saying names now.
14?
Okay. Again, you stay on track, making no expedient time, but not losing it either. And as we go into the night of the third day, second night, third day.
Day 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Day 10 of 14.
Go ahead and give me another roll, please, Ezra. If you want to go ahead and roll as well, Tanga.
18.
Perfect.
Take a fucking guess what I just rolled.
A 1.
Yeah. It's another dice going to the dice jail.
Back in the bag.
Get the fuck back in there.
Go to your room.
Grounded until next week when we try again.
go in that bag and you think about what you did.
At least I'm rolling them now, rather than I would be rolling them during combat or something.
One of the things that you haven't noticed in the 2 weeks of travel are any other vessels. Until now. As the dawn breaks the morning of your, 13th day? No, 12th day.
10th.
One of those
12.
days.
12th, yeah.
10.
12, no, because you rolled for the night day.
So
That
11.
is the 11th day, you're
Okay.
right. As the 11th day breaks,
Going into the 12th, yeah, because this is night of the 11th.
this is the day of the 11th right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the 11th day breaks, you can see something in the distance ahead of you to the north. It is a spot on the ocean. As the day continues throughout, you kind of watch as it gets larger and larger. And what you see coming towards you is another ship. Galleon. Or galley. Big ship. There seems to be no flag at first that you see. They're flying no colors. As they get closer, you can barely make out the sounds of commentary or talking. And eventually you watch as it slowly, with jerking motion, rises up and pops in the wind. A symbol, not a pirate ship. It's the symbol of a merchant marine company.
That's not better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tenga being out on the water and Ezra. Both of you give me history checks, please.
Yay.
15.
19.
All right. The Sea Maidens Warriors. The Sea Maidens Warriors company who was originally founded by a captain who was known for her stern but fair behavior. She had a training regiment, having been a naval officer before she became into there. She has long since expired, but they still keep up that very military-based look and attitude. They are almost a naval force in and of themselves. You're not sure the number of ships they have in their fleet, but it is not an insignificant number. The port side, or as you're staying port of one another, as you're supposed to as two ships come, you can see that their port doors for their cannons are closed. So, they don't mean to draw fire on you. Good news.
For now.
But they do come to the side or to the railing, and they offer. They make a request to come aboard and ask that you drop anchor.
Anchor?
They don't know.
Somebody throw Mellow.
He's more of a yeah boy.
Oh no.
Now someone really throw Mellow.
Oh, my heart.
Somebody throw Steve. Where's your wife with the water bottle? All
Just see
right.
your water bottle come in off right screen.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Do you capitulate?
Tonga is he's going to bring the boat up to the side. Is there something that he can, like, at least tie the ship?
I mean, you can throw a rope up to them and they can railing.
All right, he'll do that.
Okay.
And then with that rope, he's gonna climb up. But he kind of like looks back and gives like a caution to everybody, and he's like, "You can board if you want, but I'm gonna try and see what the hell this is all about."
Have I dealt with these people before?
When I said they're a naval force, I was not wrong. I was not exaggerating. And I said that they operate in a military fashion. However, the fairness in certain situations may have been gone. So while they're not pirates per se, they are a bit opportunistic. They're a bit opportunistic. Like
Tonga goes up on that ship.
wouldn't-
Ezra's going up on that ship.
Yeah, they wouldn't scuttle your ship or they wouldn't like sink it out of spite. But if you don't have anything of value to them, they may request your services for an unspecified amount of time while you pay off any debt that they may have levied against you.
This is where I become proficient in sinking ships.
Where I become proficient in stabbing sailors. All right, so as you, so the two of you are going up the rope on the side, or going up the. Actually, it's there's actually like a rope ladder that's pushed down, so you guys can climb up. Anybody else going up the ladder onto the boot?
Considering it involves climbing a rope ladder over water, no.
I'm sure I can bring somebody up on my back.
I mean,
That's a thing.
your ship, your boat is butted up on theirs and moored like to a rope. So
I'll climb
climbing
up.
over water so much as you're just climbing on the side of the boat.
Sorry, where's your book bag that you fit in?
Yoda's up on Ezra's back.
Climb the ladder.
Just her and the tuber.
Satiel is gonna stay on Tonga's boat, but his owl will flit up onto Tonga's shoulder. And he's gonna be listening through the owl.
Zora's staying on the boat.
Okay. So Owl's going up. So the Owl's going up to listen in. Okay, and then so we've got Tonga and we've got Ezra
And Mello.
I'm going up too.
climbing up the side of the boat. As you get up, you can see that they are all wearing similar clothing. The captain, clearly the captain, approaches you. State your name and your business, please.
I am Tongaroa. We are just passing. Simple as that. We're traveling.
We've heard there are a few pirate ships moving through. You don't seem much like pirates, but we must ask everyone.
I certainly don't think I'm a pirate. I don't think. Though my crew is quite hardy, I wouldn't say that we are.
Do we even have a hold?
It's where we keep the halfling.
That's where the halfling is. She's sitting down there. Like her hands on the edge of it, just looking up. I just had the image of Oded Fair's character from The Mummy 2. From The Mummy, where he's in the airplane.
Yes.
He's just having the greatest time of his life.
Yeah.
Mummy reference. That's where I live.
He kind of looks you over. Where are you going?
Corpus Landing, right? Yeah, I got that right.
Jopus.
Jopus Landing.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
Jopus Landing.
Yes.
Have you seen anything strange in the waters these last few days?
In the water?
I mean, we almost got eaten by
One-
sharks.
On the waters.
We've
Last few days, we've seen nothing.
well,
The last few days.
the past day, Sathiel and I, during the night, we saw something on the horizon. Just some lights. We did not go to investigate. It would have put us way off track. It was about a day ago.
Nothing other than lights in the distance, then?
That's all we could tell. We didn't want to go and take a look, just in case.
Have you run afoul of anything else in the waters since
We
you
were
set out?
ambushed by some Sahagins that had probably a grudge against me.
Who are you to them?
Their enemy.
What have you
Simple
done?
enough. As far as I can tell, we have done nothing. They have a grudge against us, and we have a grudge against them. Maybe the fact that we've, eaten a couple of them might have made them a little angry, but we didn't start it, so.
Right. Well, might you stay with us while we investigate further? We want to question the entire crew and those with you, please. Do you get the idea that the please was not so much a please as it was a capitulate?
What purpose do you have interviewing the rest of my group? We could just pass along peacefully and
To have
nothing
you
could come
turn
of this.
around and attack us. You
Oh,
could be a
yes.
scout ship for a larger fleet.
You clearly know nothing of my people and what we stand for.
And I don't care to. Where is the remainder of your fleet?
Down on the boat still.
No, on the fleet, the rest of your boats.
The-
You have just this one small vessel.
Yeah. That's it.
You,
The rest of my people are way in the Rongolesi Islands. That's way
You-
far from here.
you take me for a fool that you would travel for several days on any kind of like motions with a little bit of disdain towards where
Those
your
boats-
boat is.
Those
Azor's
boats have
wishing she would have
traveled
gone.
further across the ocean than any other fleet out here. We have gone far and wide across the world with these things, days on end.
And have always come back. I see.
Always.
I find that hard to believe.
You think we would drown? We're fish people.
No, I just think that those aren't boats, those are toys.
Then let this toy pass. It's as simple as that.
Certainly. Pay me a small fee and I will release your boat.
And what's a small fee?
He looks down at the boat and kind of like he leans over the down.
Zora waves.
Oh, I want to punch this guy.
We'll
Go
call
to
it
Tonga.
10 gold a head for 70
head?
gold.
Have you gone mad?
No.
What fee do we owe you for stopping us and seeing that we are no trouble to you, insulting me and my boat, and then telling us we can leave if we pay you a substantial amount of gold? What kind of business are you running?
You can pay me or can find your boat in dire need of necessary repairs and far from any place to have them. The 10-pound cannons that I can point at your boat. Say you owe me 70 gold.
How many people are on the dock? Deck?
Probably close to 25. It's a big ship, lots of crew.
Yeah. I can't pick a fight with all of them.
You're making a mistake.
No. You can. It just won't go well.
You're docile people, and you are trying to pick a fight with us.
I'm not trying to pick a fight.
Then you
I
would
am
let us go
simply-
without fee. There is no reason.
How about an exchange of a bit of entertainment?
Oh,
God.
There is a lot of us to service.
A guitar does many good things. He takes it out. Have you ever been to a concert before?
Oh God.
What is this?
This is going to
buffoon-
cost us more gold.
What is this buffoon doing?
Oh, he's gonna put on a show.
I honestly don't know. I think you should just maybe listen to
I'm paying our way. Now shut up and let me.
Ezra's
He doesn't mean
behind
shut up. He means
Oh, I'm telling you to shut up.
me.
We're all gonna die.
You're telling
I
the
also wanna
captain
say
of
that-
your ship
Yeah.
to shut up.
Do you want us to pay the fee or not? And I'm going to start strumming. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it would be.
The bard
So-
who has no
Yeah,
proficiency in performance.
still manages to roll a 16 in performance.
There is an audible slap of feet on deck and a few hands clapping as you seem to have entertained some of them. I tell you what, we'll make it 50 gold and we keep the clown.
Clown's not for sale?
What purpose would you have with him?
He's entertaining.
Yes, he is, but he's kind of our entertainment.
Looks like you'll need to find new entertainment.
I tell you what. Let us all go. I'll put in a good word for you, and whenever you're in town at the Port Awapal,
5-star.
Give you
Yelp
another-
review.
all sorts of entertainment there. No charge.
I don't, no.
Sorry.
Trust
while
me
all of
on
this
this.
is going on up there, Zastari's just gonna lean over to Satael and be like, "So what's happening up there?"
I can't hear.
Your entire consciousness is in the owl.
Yep. All of my vision and hearing is I can only
Alright.
hear out of the owl.
Well, when I don't get
So I
an
mean,
answer,
you ask him, but he's just
yep. When I don't get an
Staring
answer,
straight
I'm
ahead.
going up the rope, and then I'm going to hang off the side of the ship, which she hates this, for the record. But she's hearing
Weasel?
this conversation, and then I would like to sneak aboard the ship because
Through what means would you like to sneak aboard the ship?
so it's a railing,
Metal Gear Solid 2.
right?
Get her a cardboard box.
I don't need a cardboard box.
Bring! Bring!
That crate of fish. Put her in it.
No, I'm. Where is this
contortionist.
captain standing?
So the railing, there is a small spot where there's no railing. That's where they came aboard, and he's standing like 15 feet from the edge. They're right at like 5 feet from the edge where there's no railing. So like if somebody walked up and gave him a hearty kick, they would all go off the boat.
Okay.
Zora's staying on the boat because notice
actually-
Satael not respond.
Just going to pull myself up just a little bit so I can see, and I can see him. and then I'm going to cast Message,
Mm-hmm.
impersonating the original captain of this crew, the female,
Or trying to.
or
Doing your
trying
best.
to, doing my best, considering the fact that I have no idea what she sounds like, but I'm just going to go with that super authoritative voice that she's very familiar with because that was exactly who her father was. And yeah, she's going to cast Message. He is the only one who can hear her.
Okay.
And the message is very simply, this was not what we were meant to do. You do not detain innocent people.
Give me an intimidation check.
Oh boy. Oh no, I don't have intimidation as a skill. Fuck.
Ooh, I do.
Do you have persuasion?
Yes!
I'll let you give me persuasion.
17.
Okay. Let's see. Come on. Huh, awesome. 16 is what I rolled on the die.
Wait.
So you watch no, plus nothing.
Oh.
You watch his head shoot around, and all of a sudden he like has his hand on his blade, but doesn't like pulls it partly out and is looking around. Who said that?
She'll cast
You need a
Message
minute?
again. She'll cast Message again and identify herself. Oh god. Well, she wouldn't actually identify herself. She'd be like, you don't know who I am?
Out loud says, I don't know. Don't know who that is.
You don't recognize the voice of the one who founded this entire navy?
Captain Marisol? That you've been dead time. And he's saying this out loud.
Yeah, which is, I mean, really good. And then she continues with, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
But
What was
you
that name
would-
again?
Marisol. Captain Marisol.
Okay.
But you would be over 108 years old.
Player question, was she a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Zombie Captain Marisol.
And your point would be?
I just saying. Let them go. Get off my boat. I don't know what you've brought with you, but it's cursed.
And then before the others, like, come down, Zathari is just going to slide herself down the rope back onto their boat as if she never left.
And Tonga will untie the rope.
Yeah, and just kind of make his way down.
Yeah.
All right.
But
As
he's
you
still
all-
he's like very mad. He's like, the boat isn't a fucking toy. He's very mad. He's upset.
They all come to the edge of the railing. A lot of them do. You can see that they have crossbows, but they're not lowering them at you. They're just holding them like this as you bring your sail full and try to catch wind in it to try to make your way along, and eventually sliding past them you can see that the port side panels open, and they start to smooth around. And as you get closer, or get further and further away, eventually they get out of sight.
You done spooked them good.
Good call on the whole spooking them. And you make your way out to sea once again.
It's
It is
good
day
as
11. Yeah. The evening of day 11, I'd like for you to give me a piloting check, please.
Well, that
Ezra,
was a thing.
for day
14.
13, go ahead and roll. 14, you're good.
14.
Ezra, go ahead and give me a roll for the day 12.
20.
The evening of day 12 for you, Tenga.
11.
It's still okay. You don't lose your way. Okay. Ezra,
21.
13. Okay. Evening of 13.
15.
All right. As you start to move your vessel more to the north, more to the northwest, making your way back towards land as day 13 passes, you can see land start to appear, small pieces off in the distance. At the morning of the 14th day, you can see the port of Jopus Landing. There's a large iron wall that stands on either side of the port itself. A huge gate is currently sitting open. You can see that it swings inward. Large gears on the gate itself that are used to close it quickly if need be, or close it if need be, not quickly. The ramparts of the metal wall, which you can see oxidation appearing on it from where the salt water is washed up to it. It's not rusted. You're not sure what they're treating it with, but you can see that it's definitely has a greenish tint to it, realizing that this metal is made out of copper. It's starting to green with oxidization. You can see that there are all sorts of ships in the water. Some are trawlers, some are fishing boats of other sorts, and there are some shipping different lanes and ports. You see the very familiar sign and symbol on flags of the Sea Maidens Warriors. As you start to make your way in to the port, a small boat, rowed by several strong arms, a longboat of a sort, pulls alongside and yells up or over at you. What brings you to port?
Well, we're bringing Hannah here, and he'll gesture back to her. We are making a stop in Jopus Landing to get our bearings, get supplies before we go out on an archaeological expedition. I, myself, am Satil. I am one of the scriveners of the monastery here.
Business, then.
Indeed.
You see him take out unfurl a piece of paper.
Yeah. And Satil will pull out the symbol of the monastery of the city.
He
that he
looks
always has
at
on
it
him.
and nods and continues to write. Who's your captain?
He points
Me.
back at Tenga.
That'd be me.
What's your name?
Tangaroa.
You see, kind of stop for a second and then go, okay. What ship is this?
What do you mean by that?
Does
The
it have a name?
Name?
Do you know what a name is?
You name your boats?
Yes.
There are a lot of boats here.
It's called the
This one
Trident.
doesn't.
The trident, okay. And he rolls it up, and he gets close enough that he can hold it out to the captain. So the rolled up scroll. Are you
Yeah,
taking
he'll-
it, Satail?
I mean,
He moves his hand away and holds it out to the captain.
well, I was gonna give it to him, but okay.
Well, I'll
Zatiel's
take
like
it,
up
yeah.
on the bow of the ship. He's excited to be home.
He points up ahead of you, and you can see where the docks are, and they have little symbols or numbers on them. He says, "Head over to number 12. That's where you'll be. Make sure you report in. There'll be docking fees for you sitting up. How long do you plan on being in town?"
We are not positive. Indefinitely.
Hannah chimes up and she says, "We'll make sure to take care of it." No. Fine then, number 12. And with that, he says, "That way." And you see as the oarmen start to move the longboat over to another place. You easily guide your ship into dock number 12, mooring it up. Hannah bounds out of the boat and heads over to a building that is standing in and of its own. So there's the dock side, or the boardwalk is there. You see shops as well as several other like market stalls that are set up. One building, almost triangular in shape, is set up, and you can see a road that kind of comes together behind it, with two roads on either side of it. So it kind of makes this thing like this with the building sitting in the middle. There's a clear sign outside of it that says Dockmaster, or excuse me, Harbor Master. She bounds inside and motions to Tangaroa to follow her.
I'll follow.
All right. Heading inside, she tells you to lay the scroll up on the table and to the harbor master's counter. There's another halfling working behind there. He takes, unfurls it, asks you how long you plan on being in town. Hannah just kind of pats your arm, and she does all the negotiating. He comes up with a price, and she pays it for holding your ship. And then she's like, motions you again to follow her, and you guys go back out. She tells you, as she gets outside, "I'll need a couple of days prep time, and then we'll set out. So don't go too far."
Well, sorry to interrupt. I can get us into the monastery here in Jopus Landing if you want to maybe do some research on where we're going to be going.
"No, thank you. First, I need to find a bar and a drink."
Well, first for me, I'm going back home for a little while.
"Certainly. We'll meet at the monastery in, say, 2 days' time. No more. Right?"
Well, I live there, so
"Well,
that's where I'll be.
you're not the only person here."
I know.
She looks
but
at the rest of them. 2 days' time, the monastery. Can't miss it. And she points to a rather large building, almost like a fortress, that's kind of sitting up. Multiple arched windows inside of it. And it looks like a cathedral to us, the players and DM. It looks like a cathedral. Large building. Cannot miss it. She points to that and says, "The monastery. 2 days' time. Enjoy your shore leave." And with that, she bounds off, whistling, her backpack slung over her shoulder. With that being said, you're now on dry land in Jopus Landing. Welcome to Jopus Landing. What would you like to do other than kiss the
Starry
ground?
kissing the ground.
It's like, other than kissing the ground.
Satiel is just sort of like bouncing back and forth excited. It's like, who wants to go see the monastery?
Zastari is going to put her arm through his and then just... "There is a shop I'd like to go to first, and then you can take me on a tour of the monastery to your heart's content. Given that you are from here, I figure you'd be able to get me there the fastest.
Yep.
I am looking for a sundries and such type of store.
Keen mind.
You know where the marketplace is, and that'd probably be
Mhm.
your best bet to find it. The store itself doesn't ring.
Okay. Well, the name doesn't really ring a bell, but I can definitely take you to the market area.
So you two are heading off to the marketplace. Okay. What's Tanga doing?
Well, after she said bar, Tanga's like, yeah, I could go for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Bar.
Mello's going to the bar.
Bar.
Zora, welcome to Jopus Landing. You didn't spend much time at Port Owl. What are you looking
She's
for here?
just she's probably gonna go looking, honestly, for the marketplace. Try and find some things for some stuff she'd like to.
Okay.
Ezra
So
wants to go to the
marketplace,
marketplace as well.
Ezra wants to go to the marketplace. Tanga, Mello, finding a bar. What
Mhm.
level of seediness are we looking for?
Dank, but still serves food.
Like what do they call it? Like a sports bar type of thing.
like a Hooters.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well,
Buffalo
yes.
Wild Wings.
So, kind of seedy, but not like the place that we found Mello at before we got onto the
They
ladder.
had wings, thank you very much.
That didn't mean it wasn't seedy. You could have seedy bars that serve wings there, Steve.
Yes.
And the deep fryer that hasn't been cleaned in like
Ever.
you don't want to know.
Mm-mm.
They just skim the goop off the top. Sarah's face was worth it.
as you kill half the party immediately.
How'd the TPK happen? Food poisoning.
Yeah.
Well, Ezra
The
might be
darndest
fine
thing.
with that.
Bad
Got
fried
immunity to
food.
poison. Or his defenses are poisoned.
To be honest, the Starry wouldn't even eat it to begin with because it's greasy.
Mello's just like, there's bad fried food?
Surprise Pikachu meme face.
Yes.
Reminds you of someone laser etched that into a block of wood.
Okay, so let's start with Tenga and Mello. There are a few places here on the wharf or the dockside to drink, easy enough to find. If you want to move farther into town, there are definitely more places you can find. If you want to move all the way to the rich side of town, you can find a couple.
That seems like way too much effort to get.
So dockside it is.
We're here.
Okay. It is not an absolute dive. It's kind of a nicer place. As you get to the sign, you can see a picture of a rock. Like the picture has a rock or a boulder in the water, and you can see like the backside of a beautiful woman. Her back is bare. But you can see like fishy looking legs twisted off, and it's called the Siren Song. Opening it up, you can see that it's nice and it's not, an absolute dive. It's not like the nicest fish you can find either. There's a woman working the bar. She has an eye patch on. Her hair is cut short and stands up off the top of her head. And she has like a band around her head that's tied. As you walk in, she's looking very Jane Lynch. Pirate Jane Lynch. There you go.
She's my favorite.
I love
Jane
it.
Lynch is an icon. I love Jane to death. As you walk in, she says, "Hey, how are you? What can I get for you? Are you hungry?"
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we could do with some victuals and some nice strong booze.
Have you ever had chicken gizzards?
Can't say that I have.
That's what you're having. And
Alright.
Do you have some eggs to have with that?
She leans back and says, I don't know. She kind of moves off into what appears to be a kitchen area. You hear like dishes or platters being moved, and she comes back out. And on the tray sits two smaller plates, and in the middle of them is a bowl, and heaped inside are small breaded and what looks like fried little pieces of meat. And then she pours off 2 pints and sets 1 pint in front of you and 1 pint. I figured you had. I do not like lizards, honestly. I do not like it. So more power to you. Everybody down here loves them. I don't know. It's not a thing I've ever liked.
Tonga will he'll take a bite. I don't know if he'll like it or not.
It's a little
He'll eat
irony.
it.
It's a little
You know,
irony.
Tonga's teeth would probably go right through it, so it wouldn't be the same experience of chewiness.
No.
Yeah. All of his teeth are sharp. Like all his molars are sharp. Like it's just
Oh
sharp.
yeah, you slice right through
Just
it.
eat them like popcorn.
Yeah, it's good. It's tasty. It's not the meat itself isn't, but the seasoning that's on them is. It's actually a little hot, a little like it's got a little spice to it, a little kick. But it's tasty, and you can eat like a handful of them. And they go great with the beer, and the beer is cold. Like, I don't mean like temperature, room temperature. I mean it's cold.
Tonga will drink it, but he's gonna really down it. Like he wants to just swig it in one go.
It just
Pound it. This boy can breathe water. He will pound it. He doesn't need to breathe.
don't need to see the beer like flying out of his gills.
Foaming.
That is not how the respiratory system works.
I know, but still, it's hilarious to think about. Just foamy beer around the gills.
He's like, this is easy, and it's all just pouring out of his.
It's just wrong.
Like a skeleton.
Never mind. All right. For those of you who want to go to the market,
Skeletons.
she also brings you out some. It looks dense. It's bread. It looks dense, and you go to like cut into it, but it's actually like very, very pillowy. And you cut into it. I mean, it's dense to roll, but it's a pillowy roll. And as you cut into it, she brings you out a little pat of butter and sets it down there for you to enjoy. All right, so let's start with Zora. Zora, place.
Cut off what? I'm sorry.
What are you looking for in the marketplace?
In particular, like incense, herbs,
Okay.
charcoal, that kind of thing.
All right. You find a shop that caters to all sorts of needs of the arcane type.
Mm-hmm.
Labeled cheekily the Arcanist Library.
Okay. She will go in, kind of peek around the corner. Hello.
A pretty lady, middle-aged human, comes out wearing robes that are clearly detailed with certain symbols on them, but it's not like it's more show than anything else. They are of a deep blue color with gold trim around them. She bows to you and she says, "Welcome to the Arcanist Library. How may I be of service to you?"
Zora's looking a mess at this. She says, was wondering if maybe you have, just about heard of stuff to kind of summon a familiar, perhaps? Charcoal, incense, herbs.
Of course. We have all those things and more.
It keeps cutting out. I'm sorry.
What more can we get for you?
I really don't. And she looks at her. I don't have a lot. Just that. About 10 gold's worth.
No, of course. Follow me. And she takes you and like a pre-made shopping list in her head, she picks out individual items and like puts them in your arms.
She's like puts him like on top the tuber.
Yeah, and then takes you back to the front and rings you up for your items, totaling out to be 11 gold, but still. It's do you have 11 gold?
She has exactly 10 gold.
Okay, then it's 10 gold.
Okay.
We'll just call it that.
She's like, I have 10 gold and a tuber.
Oh, it's a sack of tubers. It's not one. There's like a bunch of them.
I thought it was just one gigantic tuber.
No. It's like a bunch of yucca plants. It's like a bunch of yucca, so it's like a bunch of them.
Okay.
Or actually, I guess more closely, it's jicama, but still.
Okay.
Ezra, so you end up getting the equipment that you need, and as she's bagging these things up, she does let you know that there is a bathhouse that is like a few streets over and gives you directions to get to.
Okay. She'd also ask, is there anyone that takes secondhand weapons? And she kind of motioned. She's had a crossbow that's like been pretty much unused since she got it. She's like, someone gave it to me meaning well, and I'm no good at this. Do you know if anyone would buy this? It's pretty much brand.
There might be a shop just over there, and the market district is a large, almost oval shaped, where you can get into one end and into the other end, and the shops themselves are spread out. There are market stalls all in the middle. There's like one big bazaar covered area, and with market stalls inside there. Bazaar, B-I-Z-A-R-E, as in like a bazaar too. Not bizarre, weird. Anyways, you can see there's several different marketplaces or market stalls in there, but she kind of points on the other side of that to what appears to be just like a general store of some sort. Ezra, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She'll leave her one of the roots and try and go sell her stuff just at some point.
Thank you.
Boil them before you try to eat them. They're really tough.
Certainly. Just kind of somewhere off.
They expected that.
You're not even offended, are you? You're not even offended at this point in time. You're just like, yeah.
She's kind of used to it. She's like, okay, might be useful for a piece of a spell or something. I'm gonna go. Thank you. Bye.
Call you. All right, Ezra, what are you looking for?
Ezra's looking for a jeweler.
Yeah.
He wants to get that pearl made into a bead.
Oh, like a necklace?
Oh no, just make the pearl Tonga gave him. Mm-hmm. Just turn it into a bead. That's all he wants.
Just bead it out. Okay. Yeah, easy enough to do. The jeweler and his wife who are working there ask you if there's anything more they can do. You can see they're a gnomish couple. Okay. He only charges you like 6 copper just to kind of beat it out, so it doesn't take much.
That's all. Unless there's like something else bead wise. No.
Oh, okay. They really don't. I mean, they have their own jewelry there, but a lot of it's not. It's just kind of custom stuff as people ask for it. All right. So easy enough for you to find, and then bebop around the shop for a little bit longer. Which brings us to the last two. So looking around for a shop that is called Sundries and Such.
Or something along those lines, because he said I would be able to find the shop here in Jopus Landing.
Yeah. The marketplace doesn't seem to have one of those in there. As you're making your way, you've been looking for a good 30 minutes up and down, making sure to not. You try one of the alley streets that lead off of the marketplace, and there is an orange cream colored building. The door has written on it in a interesting font, Sarnessa's Sundries and Such. As you open the door, there is the tinkle of a bell. Mm-hmm. What?
I have an idea.
As you walk in the door, around the corner comes a rather Zoftig individual, a little portly individual, wearing a robe that's bound together. You can see that it is almost a color that matches the door. Very familiar looking, although he is 2 weeks away, so they're not sure how he got here so fast. But as you do walk in, he says, "Hello and welcome to it's you, yes. I've got your sword ready for you. Follow me." And with that,
Hi.
Hi, how are you? And with that, he takes you to the back, behind through like a beaded curtain-like area, and you can see that there are several tables laid out. All of them have different items all over them. You can tell that this is the table that he works at. This is his crafting area. And as he's getting ready, he walks over and takes a cloth and moves it over, and you can see a delicate blade, your delicate blade, and the handle seems to be retooled a little bit. And then he lifts it, carefully keeping the cloth on the blade, and offers it to you.
She picks it up in hand, moves it around a little bit, very happy with the balance, and can feel, I'm assuming, just how bitterly cold the metal is.
It's not but yeah, it's cold to the touch. As agreed, here is your sword. Any further business? Did you have any troubles getting here? Anything you can help with?
Trouble is one word for it. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I got here in one piece. Everything's fine.
Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Is there anything that I could help you with, young man?
I don't really have too much to my name right now, unfortunately.
Excellent. Well, good. We're not a free for shop. Have a good day. Remember, if there's anything that your humble hedge mage, I am happy to help. And any requests that you may have. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Goodbye now. And he starts to tinker about on one of the tables.
Is there any noticeable arcane sigils in this room?
An investigation check.
Ooh, the one I'm good at, because I can't roll anything less than a 16.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Make that a natural 20 plus 6?
Yes, there are. They are warding sigils.
Okay. Well, Satiel's going to pull out a notebook. And looking at them, he's just sort of nod, and he's going to turn like he's going to leave. He's going to cast Minor Illusion to copy every single one of those sigils as sort of like a image onto the paper of his notebook, and then he's going to trace the sigils on his notebook to study for later.
No, because minor illusion doesn't work that way.
You can't do
However,
that.
your keen mind can recall the sigils that you can copy them down later. Because that's how keen mind works.
Okay. Either one.
Minor illusion, you can create something within a 5-foot base that doesn't move. But you couldn't do the sigils like that.
Okie dokie.
But your keen mind does allow you to remember like things you've seen and things you've heard, what have you.
Yeah, I thought I was being clever.
I appreciate the attempt. As you leave the shop with your new sword in hand, sigils fresh in mind, a beaded pearl, the components to make a familiar appear, and beer and gizzards in belly. We're going to call it a night as the party has finally made it to Jopus Landing. Thank you one and all for tuning in. We appreciate it. We want to say a huge thanks to D&D Beyond for their support, and stick around as we were going to be jumping over to We Are Nerdsmith for their 9 Hells of a Good Time, which I think there's only a few of us here anyways. But it doesn't matter because we'd still be playing, we'd still be tweeting, still be streaming. So Until next time, tomorrow night, Nerd Eternal Network and Dire Bear Adventuring Company are bringing the Holocaust of the Ekajati, which stars Sarah and Eric in it as well. And then on Wednesday night, we have Big Eye Small Mouth again, I assume.
Yep.
Which V is running, and we have Maddie in that. Are you the only one from Monday that's in that? Other than V running it? And then I'm pointing where you guys are at in my camera, which I'm not. The place that you are on Twitch, because like Maddie's down here and like V's over there. So
Weird
like right
Brady
there.
Bunch situation.
And then on Thursday, Maddie is back with a bunch of the crew for Curse of Strahd. You guys you guys have a little bit left on that, don't you?
They're going for dinner with Strahd.
Oh, this should go well. So either the party's gonna die entirely, or win.
Oh no, they're not at the point where they're gonna fight him yet. They're taking him up on his invitation for dinner.
What's for dinner? The party. Anyway, so with that being said, tune in on either and any of those nights. Don't forget, if you are in the Huntsville area, play some D&D, you can come by and play at Lucky Dice Cafe. I am always for rent or hire. I know what I am. It's just negotiating the price now. So join in with us next Monday. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's what I did.
Just a more fantasy-based one.
Just shows up at your door and says, "Roll for initiative."
That's right. I kick
I
up
believe
the
they
door
call
dressed as a
that
wizard.
rape.
Roll for. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to go raid Nerdsmith. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. And we will talk to you next time. As I do, we are Nerdsmith. 1 viewer is ready to raid. 2 of our 3 viewers are ready to raid. 4 viewers are ready to raid. Take care, everyone.